So our featured poet tonight is Duane Kirby Jensen. And
Where's the Zoom?
I out and met this genius, so I just want to read off his bio just so we all can understand the magnitude of creativity we're about to just encounter right now. So Duane Kirby Jensen is a painter and a poet. He was inspired to paint as a child while he watched his grandmother and grandaunt paint scenes of their Stanwood, Washington community. He comes from a long line of painters, photographers, carvers, inventors, and storytellers. As a poet, he has seen his work published in 8 chapbooks and a variety of publications, both in print and online. Since 1990, he has read and continues to read at numerous venues throughout the Northwest. During the 1990s, he published Everett's Independent Voice, an arts and entertainment magazine, and The Drifter, a poetry journal. He also coordinated the Milltown Poets Open Mic. Since September 2013, he has been the host of Everett Poetry Month. That means every Thursday night.
Yeah!
That's a hard thing to do. He's very struggling with that. His work involves those places which linger between the surface, underscoring the narrative of being, the frailty of identity, the gravity of emotion, and the ease in which it can be lost. He does this through a mixture of magical realism and what he refers to as emotional realism. He has been called an outsider artist. He received the 2013 Mayor's Award, Arts Award for Artistic Excellence and contributed to Everett's cultural vitality. Duane Kirby Jensen is an Everett, Washington-based poet and artist, and he is in the house tonight. I don't know if you folks have had a chance to look at any of those books over here, but those covers he actually painted himself. They're only $10.
$10?
I know you can't afford not to buy them, right? So bring them all the way to the stage with as much love as you can get from the bottom of your belly to the top of your
Bring the mic up here. That's a little better. So then we can bend down. Thank you everyone for coming out to see me. Thank you to Piano Slam. It's been very cool. I haven't been here since, about a year and a half when Jack McCarthy did his last reading here. And that was an experience. So it's cool to be on the same stage Jack was. So I don't do much chit chat. I'm just going to kind of take you on a ride. And if you want to come along, great. Boy, it stopped me in my tracks. The inflection carried the thrust of a knife blade. Boy, what you doing here? You belong back on the interstate. 2 figures moved around the shell of a 70s muscle car, country music crackling over their transistor radio. My eyes sunk into the darkened garage, full of grease and gasoline smells. I watched as one slow walked his way towards a rifle relaxing on a workbench. I'm looking for a diner. Thinking inwardly, it was a good thing I was white, or things might get a bit dicey. I pulled a 10 from my shirt pocket as if green would legitimize my presence. We don't serve your kind. You best be moving on. Each word delivered with the effect of a chambered bullet. Can't I at least get a cold soda from your machine? Make it quick. Each word pronounced like a fist to the mouth, a kick to the gut, a death sentence. I took a long, cold swallow, eyeing the empty Montana street. Strip away telephone poles, electric lines, semi-modern cars. Add a few horses, a few hitching rails. I'd be back in 1865. I was in a place where nothing changed. They liked their life uncomplicated. I was that walking disease who might sprinkle wanderlust into the eyes of their womenfolk. You're done, now get. I tossed my bottle on to an old barrel overflowing with spent barrels. I smiled, thanked them for their hospitality, walked away slowly. Inwardly, I thanked my ancestors that they had never settled in a town where dreams are boxed early, then shelved in a cellar next to the rhubarb preserve that no one ever wants to eat. When crows sing the sun up. A faint rumble of steel wheels upon rusted track rocks the slightly built girl with dust blonde hair from her cradle of sleep, where she still dreams in Ukrainian. That orange-yellow engine rumbles by at 5:26 each morning, offering her the comfort of a long-time companion who shares her bed without stealing sheets. The sun breaks through her curtainless windows that have witnessed a decade of sorrow since their last cleaning. Her blue eyes widen to the morning song as crows sing the sun up. She does not realize that the crows sing of her, sing with deep melancholy for one still young to live without a mate, to live without a shared song. She adores their cawing, their sleek black feathers that glisten with the seductive promise of flight. The same way steel wheels upon rusted track offer escape from the bland melodies that have become her existence. Her eyes squint through the diffused light of the dust-scarred windows, eyes trying to become black wings in flight, eyes that never turn toward her faded blue door. And in each set, I think there should always be a love poem. And this is my token love poem of this set. It's called Mud and Stone. I stand at the edge of a lake transformed into thick gray mud. A lake cupped within the burnt and singed land. I think of you, gone these many years. I shed tears that turn to stone, slowly falling toward, then sucked downward by thick, greedy mud. Stone after stone sinking into and through mud, mud that denies the light, which makes dreams and wishes possible. Stones that sink into place, becoming the tomb of memory. I listen to the wind explore charred timber and smoldering grass that was too thick and moist to give itself over to fast-moving flames. I reach deep into the mud, feel my fingers disappear into a bottom that is all give, suction, and secrets, until I find the right stone, a stone that possesses heat. I grip it, lifting my fist above the gooey surface. I squeeze it tight, my eyeballs matching the intensity of the straining muscles. I feel my soul loosen from my being, slide down my right arm the way ivy twines its way towards light, even as roots are anchored in shadow. Quiet overtakes the moment. Even the wind lays in hiding. Then I hear it. Your heartbeat pulsing within my fist. I open my palm. Tension escapes like falling stars entering the atmosphere. With reverence, I place the stone, which is becoming your heart, into my mouth. With wide hands and thick fingers, I slowly grasp and mold mud into your form, that you, at your favorite age, a woman yet to scrutinize lines and sags. I change next to nothing, only adding a little extra to your backside. You who always hated your flat ass will appreciate a few new curves. I spent hours blowing upon your hardening flesh, allowing my hot breath to give you form. With gentle fingers, I part your lips, lean in, kiss you. Allow your new heart to slide from my mouth through your lips onto your tongue, sliding down your throat into that chamber, awaiting the beat of you. Leaning back, I see color replace the gray. Your eyelids flutter like butterfly wings, eager to dry. You look around, amazed that you are here, amazed that my love has given you this moment of rebirth. As Garfield mentioned, I am a painter. This is one of my paintings. This is the me people don't see. They always see the calm me, not the one that's ready to burst. And so this poem was actually written when I was starting to do a painting at 2 a.m., September 10th, 2012. Transcribing my mind to canvas, charcoaling a world into an oxygen-based existence. The 2 a.m. storm bullies its way ashore. Barometric pressures release from the claustrophobic landscape. My bones uncoil, joints expand, blood pumps within the rhythmic pounding of rain. As I move, charcoal in straight lines upon canvas, my hands blacken with this gift from fire. A break, a razor, a head shaven clean. It is a manic night of creation. The moist night dares me to embrace the 2 a.m. howl. I laugh, double dare it to swallow me whole. It whistles with curses. It wants me on my knees. It wants me to know fear. It wants me reverent. I am not its puppy, and my teeth are sharper than it expects. If there is to be blood, it will be black, gushing from the rip in the night sky where my gnashing teeth have torn away the stars. This next poem occurred back in 86. It's called Zapata. Bare skin, we slide and merge in and over one another. Two explorers mapping our way through unknown territory, two hungry mouths tugging at flesh, extracting salt the way some suck marrow from bone, catching the releasing, darting tongues the way children play with fireflies, until you say, hit me hard. My passion retreats. The noise of the world reclaims its place within my room, at the corner of Garden and Chestnut, within the late winter of a Bellingham morning. And I am back on Earth. Hit me in the face, she repeats, showing me her closed fist. Words lost within my throat. I shake my head. No, no, no. She reads it in my eyes. Zapata. Her blues turn black. She hits me, full-fisted in the face, again and again. She pounds on my chest and arms, two pistons gaining speed to nowhere, until her rage burns out the way wildfires die after consuming all that is consumable. Exhausted, she crumbles into tears that turn my belly into a lake. Her head buried beneath small waves, hoping, I believe, to drown herself. With the quietness of the wind stirred to life by hummingbird wings, she asks, "Why didn't you hit me?" So I know you guys like new shit.
New shit.
And the first two sections of this poem are like 5 years old, but when I read it over like Saturday night, I'm like, it needs a third section to it, which I finished writing this morning. So you get old and new shit all in one. It's called In the Name of God and Kings, to the poets Yehuda Amichia and Taha Muhammad Ali. 1. Through your poems, I have walked the hills of Jerusalem. I have knelt, grasping dried earth, held it, felt its weight that has borne the footfalls of countless lives, people who lived unnoticed, people who carved religion from stone, people who met a bloody end. The name of gods and kings carried upon their final exhale. 2. I hear a child crying. Is she hungry or fearful? As she squirms within stiffening arms that release the last heat of a heart now motionless. Today, it does not matter if you are Palestinian or Israeli, Jew, Christian, or Muslim. The sadness is the same in any religion or in those who have none. The air is no longer filled with the scent of lemons and olives. Each inhale tastes of vinegar. If one listens closely, there is no reason to go to the wall. This land wails. This land I hold in my hand trembles. This land that escapes through my fingers stains my core with centuries of sorrow. This land asks me, no, it demands of me to shed a tear, then pleads with the tears that have fed the river Jordan for centuries, for me to ask you to do the same. 3. But how can I ask you to shed tears for people who have argued for 2,000 years? People who take turns becoming victim and instigator, martyr and terrorist. Our own streets begin to resemble Sarajevo, Damascus, and Mogadishu. We forget which schools have bled in which order. Our streets continue to be baptized with innocent blood, terrorized by those who serve and protect. The names upon your lip today will be lost with tomorrow's headlines. Names replacing names, replacing names, replacing names, replacing names, replacing names, replacing names. There's only one thing I am certain of. Last week's shooting was not committed by the Seattle PD. But give them time. We still have a wood carver or two. I will ask you again to shed a tear. Shed a tear for those names who you remember. Shed a tear for those whose names you have forgotten. Now look around you. Yes, look around you. Shed a tear for who might be next. Thank you, Larry. Wichita, for a friend who must remain nameless. Wichita, just another dead-end town that will grind your soul into dust if you let it. You tell me you are a firefly trapped in a jar, hoping the air will run out soon. I spin words that become life preservers that float within arm's reach. Stretch, girl, stretch, stretch. Save your spirit from being smothered beneath Midwestern expectations that suck you deeper into Mason's mud. Mud which will harden into penitentiary walls. Scream, I say scream, shatter your jar. Learn to breathe, learn to trust yourself. No, don't retreat into your guest room, that living reflection of your girlhood innocence, that cocoon which stills your wings. Fill your blank pages with words, cover your gessoed canvas with pigment. Let your friends proclaim you a witch. Ignite before them as they throw kindling at your feet. You can burn hotter than any fire. Firefly girl, Wichita will only destroy you. I say, burn it to the ground. Show those proper folks how you can believe. Two more poems. Stillborn. Stillborn on the edge of possibilities. That sister I will never know. The one my father held in the back of a Portland taxi cab. Blood draped her coming. Witnessed her going. He held this child with a tenderness I never knew. Did he cry? Did he? He never told me, but I know a Minnesota man sheds no tears. And my little sister, did she even take one breath? Did she? Did she taste the alcohol that permeated our father's every exhale? Did she? Did she just decide, why even bother? This is entitled, Two Women in Folding Chairs Are Looking at Us. The title is a line from C.J. Lynch's poem, Trying to Fight It. Two women folding chairs are looking at us. In my misreading of C.J.'s line, I was transported back to a funeral, watching women folding chairs. Women who were looking at me and my brother with solemn eyes. Eyes that had witnessed too much. Arms that had folded too many chairs at the end of too many rituals for the dead. Maybe it was at this moment I learned to stay to the end of funerals, of weddings, of events. To carry on the ritual of folding chairs, of witnessing the ends of things. Thank you so much.